What's going on, guys? It's KG here, and we have something that we need to talk about. I mean, you guys know that we are all community around here, and so uh, when we got something to talk about that's on our minds, we gonna talk about it. So before we get started, though, like and subscribe to my channel because we all enjoy hanging out with each other around here. So let's talk about something that I think is it's coming up more and more, and it's real important. And we're gonna really get into this. And you're hearing about this all over the place. You're hearing it from Fed officials. You're hearing it from all the talking heads on all the finance news networks and news channels. Even the business analysts and the economists are trying to convince us that the economy is doing great and everything is just fine. Do you really believe that? Do you believe that? I mean, is that true for everyday people like me and you? It's interesting because they keep saying everything is fine, and we all in Alice in Wonderland, everything is hunky dory. But yet, what have you been seeing? Tell me what you've been seeing. I mean, have you seen the price of eggs lately? The price of eggs. I mean, we it's an egg. They millions of them, right? There was a time when a price of eggs was under a carton was under 99 cents, right? Now, what have we seen the price of eggs been like more recently? 4.99, 5.99, $5 for some eggs, $6 for some eggs. That's absolutely crazy, right? What about milk? Y'all know about milk. Y'all know and bread. I don't gotta tell y'all how much milk and bread is costing now, and don't even start me talking about gas prices. Gas prices have went through the roof, and so I'm really convinced that they are trying to get gas prices up over $5 per gallon. If they already haven't, depending on what area you live in. But they seem to be pushing that up and up and up. Yeah, they kind of appease us so that it'll go down a little bit, especially in the election year. They might drop it, for 3 or 4 days, but then what? It shoots right back up, right? And so if you're in a place like California or Hawaii, you probably have been spending over $5 a gallon for a long time, years, probably even over $6 a gallon. Some places even over almost close to seven. So it's kind of hard for them to make the argument that the economy's doing well when pay is stagnant. Everybody's still making the same amount of money they were making 10 years ago, close to it, but everything is going up. The price of everything is going up, especially all your necessities, gas, eggs, bread, milk, all those type of things. So I think people are tired of not having what they need. And so what are they really doing? Well, one thing they're doing is they're spending on debt. They're spending on debt like there's no tomorrow. People are absolutely just losing their minds. And one of the reasons is people feel so defeated that they're questioning why they should even wait to save anything, to save for buying something that they really want, which I can understand because they really think that it'll be too long before they can actually afford it. So they're just like, you know what, this is just getting ridiculous. I mean, I'm gonna have to wait, 3 years to buy even a piece of furniture, or don't even talk about a car. We know car prices are through the roof. So people are just, even vacations, even just to take their family on a vacation to go somewhere just for a week, it's costing them where they would have to save sometimes years to save to go on a vacation. I know many of you out there have had to deal with that. And so y'all have felt that pain. So people are just like, they're just saying, the heck with it. I'm tired of having to worry about saving for it. Tired of having to do that. So I'm gonna just put it on credit, even though I know that I probably can't afford it. So they're deciding to use debt to get it now, whatever it is. Whether it's a car, whether it's a vacation, whether it's furniture, whether it's trying to get something, something done around the house. Some people are having to put basic necessities, y'all, basic necessities on credit, on credit. And it's just, you can see what's going on. That is starting to show, or starting to begin to show, that there's a huge debt that is piling up in this country. And I'm going to tell you, it is causing problems in our economy, because guess what? It all has to be paid back. I mean, the money has to come from somewhere, right? So where's it going to come from? Especially with much of the economy right now having so much shaky job stability, because we know that jobs don't want to really pay anything. I mean, a lot of jobs are still paying under $15 an hour in a lot of states. And then what do people have forced to do? They have to forced to become part of the gig economy, because why? They either need a part-time job or they need something to supplement their income. And then even then, that basically goes to the highest bidder, whoever can rush to get the job done faster. And of course, people are strapped that are using the services, so they don't pay as well. They certainly don't tip as well as they should. So it's really causing a situation where people have to try to make up to make all this extra money. But a lot of this is because they have debt. People have debt. They got to try to pay back. But the money has to come from somewhere, and it's going to cause an issue, especially with our economy being so shaky and people are not making the incomes that they typically need to make. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know, if your income is, here and your debt is here, you got a problem. Now, just imagine what happens when you have millions of people doing the same thing. I mean, that is putting a lot of pressure on the economy. House prices. You all know about house prices. Astronomical in most places. Astronomical. I mean, affordability for a house has pretty much gone out the window. So a lot of people are having to stack up, even in multi-unit living dwellings and units, just to kind of make it, to find cheaper housing. And you think about it, people shouldn't have to do that. People should be able to afford a house, when they are ready to buy a house, especially if they're working hard and trying to save their money, trying to be responsible. But because the house prices are so out of range for most people, they can't even feel like they can even achieve that. It's supposed to be the American dream, but really it's turned into more of a American nightmare. So homelessness has what? Exploded, absolutely exploded in many states, especially like states like California and New York. You're starting to see this more happening in Washington, even places like Florida. I mean, it is really, really getting to where people just simply cannot afford to keep up with paying the rent. And so more and more, this is kind of all happening, and this is all culminating together. And with all these issues surrounding our economy and the affordability of living, it is culminating together where it may send our economy over a cliff that could cause a catastrophic economic collapse. Now, I hate to be the one to bring that to you as the bearer of bad news, and I don't want it to be bad news, but it is what it is. I mean, you can't have all these people in this debt. You can't have people making what they're making, which is not a whole lot for the average person, and then trying to live. I mean, at some point, the debt has got to become due, and if people cannot make their payments, or whether it's their student loans, whether it is their credit card loans, credit card bills, debt that they use to buy necessities, or their house payments, because though that's too high and their job is shaky. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a wave of defaults, and when people start defaulting, more and more businesses start going under because people cannot make their payments or they're not spending any money, and it's going to cause a terrible default. And then when that happens, people start defaulting, the economy collapses, and then that's when we're right back in a heavy recession, even near depression. This has been prolonged so long now, it wouldn't be surprising if we go into a depression. Even though the last depression was way back, in 1930s, it's very possible for that to happen again. So what can be done, though? What can be done to help people as the economy gets even tighter? Well, many people are suggesting stimulus checks. Remember those? A couple of years ago? We got a few of them, and people really said that they came at the right time. They really helped them out. So they may give people the break that they need in order just to cover, just their basic monthly expenses. And some people even talk about, get this, a basic universal income, where how you get like a monthly stipend from the government, just like you would Social Security. But in this case, it wouldn't be for people who are retired. It would be, just normal everyday people who just need a little bit of a boost in their salary, just something to help them to be able to cover their basic monthly expenses. Everybody deserves to at least be able to put a roof over their head and feed their children. So this is a big deal, right? This is a really, really big deal. So people are talking about this universal basic income, and it kind of got some traction in the past. But I think as things get worse, and as this discussion about stimulus checks comes on the scene, I think that is starting to become going to be a renewed fervor for that. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a later video, the universal basic income. But right now, millions of people are in favor of stimulus checks. And so that really, really begs for a lot of questions to seem to come up. That begs for a lot of answers to questions that come up. But for now, we need to have this discussion about whether you think we need more stimulus checks. And if we do, how often should we get them? Should it be once every 2 months? Should it be once every 3 months? I mean, what do you think reasonably? What do you think the amount should be in order for people to get some relief and cover their basic necessities comfortably? What do you think the amount should be, and how often should we get it? Let's talk about that. We're gonna dive into that. Let's talk about that. And tell me what you think. Get into the comment section, and let's all have a discussion about this. Get into the comment section and tell us what you think. How do you feel about having a stimulus check, more stimulus checks? One, how often they should come. Two, and what you reasonably think they should be in amount in order to cover just the basic necessities that most of us have to cover every day. So if you like the video, like the video for me, like and subscribe to my channel. And by having these discussions, it opens up our minds so that we know what to do, which is we better come up.